Hello, and welcome to your weekly wellness dose, The Wellness Factor, with me, Dr. Noelle. Today we are talking about anxiety and ways to combat it holistically. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental disorder, affecting over 40 million adults in the US and more women than men, and I'm one of them. So let me tell you a story of how the doctor ended up in the ER, but on the other side of the stethoscope. It started off as a typical day, running errands, leaving the grocery store, but feeling a little tight in my chest and maybe a bit lightheaded. As I walked to my car, my heart started pounding more and more, and I started really feeling a bit more anxious, but not triggered by anything going on around me. I get in my car, my heart is going well over 120 beats per minute, and I know this because I was counting. My hands now are starting to feel tingling. My feet are starting to feel a bit numb, and I'm afraid I'm about to pass out. So I call a friend and I just let them know where I am in case I lose consciousness. And ironically, I was parked right across the street from a hospital. And although close, I was afraid to drive myself there in case I did black out before getting there. So I call 911. Ambulance gets there really quick. And as a doctor would, I started barking orders, get the EKG leads on, what's my blood sugar, what's my O2 sat, still trying to have control where I was clearly losing it. So I get to the ER in minutes and they take me right in, right away. Again, giving orders, check my thyroid. I want an EKG, chest x-ray. I want an echo, cardiology consult. Well, guess what, guys? All the tests came back normal. They kept me overnight for observation and to continue to monitor my heart. But in the end, thankfully, there were no events. Well, Dr. Noelle, you had a panic attack. Our diagnosis for you, anxiety. Great. So now what? So now just a little backstory to the story. This happened at a time where I was postpartum. I had just had my daughter. Not long before, I was opening a new practice, trying to juggle things as then a single mom and quite honestly in turmoil with my child's father, but I was overwhelmed. I did what we do as women. I put my armor on and I kept it pushing, not recognizing that I was so depleted and that I was being neglectful to myself, and my body was forcing me to come to the realization that it was time to surrender. Now, I was familiar with all the anti-anxiety medications, antidepressants, mood stabilizers, but I didn't want to be medicated. And don't get me wrong, medications are necessary when they're necessary, but I didn't want that journey for myself. And that is when I turned to yoga as a healing tool and ultimately made it a focal point in my practice. So today we are going to talk about the healing power of breath and how pranayama, breathwork, can be used to calm the central nervous system and really rewire the brain so we respond in moments of stress as opposed to react. Slowing down the breath and breathing intentionally has a direct impact on the brain, the central nervous system, and allows us to shift modes as we really function in two modes, sympathetic drive or parasympathetic drive. Sympathetic drive is our flight or flight response when we have detected we are in danger and need to run away. But we don't always need to run. And calming down the survival mode can be done, but it takes practice and it is a daily walk. Also, when we are in sympathetic drive, that is when stress hormones are released, epinephrine, cortisol. That makes us feel funny when we are in a state of panic or anxiety, causes the blood pressure to rise, heart rate to rise, the vessels in our extremities to clamp down and may cause tingling sensation in our hands and feet. We may start to feel dizzy, lightheaded, or for some faint. It's not a fun feeling, but with consistent breath work, we can learn how to fight against this response and function more in a parasympathetic driven state where rest and digestion occurs and slowing of the release of these stress hormones. So there are many different breathing techniques, patterns that one can follow, essentially where you give your inhalations and exhalations a count, ultimately to slow down the breath, elongate the respiratory cycle so that the brain knows we can be at ease. Some commonly used in the setting of anxiety are the following: equal breathing, or what I like to call the power of 5. So that is essentially where you inhale for a count of 5, you hold your breath for a count of 5, and you exhale for a count of 5, and then repeat. Another breathing technique would be box breathing. So that's when you inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, you exhale for a count of 4, you hold again for a count of 4, and then repeat. 4-7-8 technique. Now, this is when you're making your exhalations longer than your inhalations. You inhale for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8, and then repeat. Either of these are excellent tools and should be used and done regularly to see change. I recommend starting and ending your day with breath to start and end your day on a calm note. So try to do at least 3 cycles, and you can do more if you feel comfortable, always engaging the diaphragm as you breathe. So now let's try the power of 5 together. Close your eyes. Allow your belly to be soft. As you inhale, the belly rises. As you exhale, the belly falls. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. And now you can breathe at a normal pace, allowing the belly to be soft. As you inhale, the belly rises. As you exhale, the belly falls. How do you feel? Do you feel calm? Do you feel more relaxed? I hope that you do. And remember, the beauty and the power of the breath is that it's always available. And guess what? It's free. Now I will leave you with our mantra for today. Close your eyes and just focus on your breath. I am at peace, releasing all things that no longer serve me. Open to possibilities, seen and unseen. Allowing for grace, allowing for guidance, allowing for protection. I am at ease. Now you can continue with that breath, or perhaps you've had enough for today. I thank you for joining me for the Wellness Factor today. I hope this gave you some insight or tools you can use daily. I will post a video demonstrating the breathing techniques we discussed today on my YouTube channel as a complement to what we reviewed today. I hope the rest of your day is blessed and protected. Thanks for listening. Namaste.